All right, guys, we are back again, and TikTok found another one, right? As I tell you, I have a pseudo like decent sized following on TikTok, and I've met so many cool people, and this is somebody I've met here relatively recently, and I don't know how long he's been following me, but I know I've really got to know him a little more here in the last week or so, week or two. And I have a good sense for people and what they're going through, and even when they don't share it. And a lot of people who take to me, the ones who really like me and follow me and support me. A lot of them are just going through their own stuff. Usually, a lot of the people who understand me are the ones who just also have been through it or are going through it. And our next guest is somebody who just goes through his own struggles every day. He's younger, young kid, but he's trying to make it in life, trying to figure out how to be happy in this world like the rest of us. So yeah, and he's a good kid, man. So I appreciate him wanting to come on. So anybody, you want to tell us your name, a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Daniel, 18-year-old, living with my mom still,
It's okay.
trying to get an apartment.
It's all right. Yeah, man, no, it's all good. But I mean, like, I think it used to be a thing well before even me, before I existed. There used to be a thing where it was like, when my kid turns 18, they'll be out of the house. But that's not really a thing anymore because of the economy and because of all that's going on in the world. Like, you don't just, kids aren't leaving until they're like 25 now. So, and I'm not saying that's going to happen for you, but kids don't just leave at 18 anymore. Like, that's barely a thing anymore.
Right.
It's not really.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's all good, man. So why don't you kind of tell us a little bit of like your what you've been through?
No.
I hope your mom is in the background.
No. I'm taking my little brother up.
Oh.
But, I've been through a lot. At age 17, my birthday, got hit by a car. Not catastrophic injuries, but,
Still traumatic.
doctor said my body it was okay, but I suffered injuries that like hurt me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, so came back and doing good, alive and well.
Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, you gotta be careful because it's like one injury like that could really set you.
Yeah,
Set
and
you back.
at the time I was walking with my little brother, and he was crossing the street together. Next second, I'm already head first into the rear. It's crazy. Tumbled after I got hit. I was with my buddy too. And that could have been my little brother and me, but, God, protected him. Yeah, he was just behind me, following me and stuff.
Well, and you got to be grateful because there's a lot of people that are in car accidents or get hit by cars and they're no longer here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or they're paralyzed.
Just grateful to be alive.
Not even just being alive. The fact that your health issues weren't severe that's amazing.
Right. And, just grateful to be alive and living, talking to you. That's all.
Yeah. You've talked about having like mental health issues as well, right?
Yeah. So I started taking depressed pills because, there was a moment in my life where I wasn't feeling as myself. My grandma had died recently, 2 years ago. And, I had trouble, because I really loved that woman. And that woman was the only person in my life who really cared for me, including my family. But she really understood me. She was there for me. So it really hurted me in that moment to lose my grandma. And, that's when I started going crazy and stuff. I couldn't take it,
Yeah. That's what I'm going through now, not with the grandma thing. Obviously, sorry for your loss, but
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, no, it's whether to be on meds or not. And sometimes you take them for a period of time because you just need it to just kind of suppress that noise. But, they also cause a lot of issues too. And so I'm in this middle area where it's like, do I stay off of them? Because I don't want to feel numb on them, but when you're off them, you feel everything. And so it makes it hard.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah. It's kind of hard to take them because when I was on them, I felt like I wasn't feeling as myself. I stopped eating less. I became skinny. That's when the bullying began. People kept, bullying me because I was really skinny, calling me Minecraft skeletons and whatever at school. And so I stopped taking them, and I realized that overall my mental health, it got better.
That's good. Yeah. Well, yeah, bullying will add to it as well. It's a cruel world we live in. I don't know what it is, but it's those who are
Yeah,
hurting on the inside feel like they need to kick other people while they're down.
yeah, and it's it's been hard for me, man. It really has,
Yeah,
with
man.
everything.
But you got to remember to give yourself grace and remember that you're still here. Like you're doing it. Like
Yeah, if
it
it wasn't for my parents, I don't know where I would have been right now. But I'm just grateful. That's all.
yeah, man. I mean, obviously, it sucks to lose a grandma. It sucks to be hit by a car, all these things. But unfortunately, it's all a part of life.
Right.
We all lose. Everybody we have in our life is temporary. And
Yeah.
everything we have is temporary. And so the good and the bad. And so you got to just try to make the most of it and hopefully just be
Hmm.
happy with what you got, man. You may not have a PS5, you may have a PS4, but there's somebody who can't. They've never had a game system because they don't have a mom and dad who can even afford one, right? Or,
Yeah.
they don't have parents. They don't like there's
Yeah.
kids this Christmas that don't have parents that love them, and that's sad, dude. That's truly sad.
Yeah. And that
And
hurts to know because you have things that other people don't. So when you see the struggle that people have gone through, it really hurts deep down because there's kids out there that loses people every day and they don't have anywhere to live. They don't have a roof over their head. They're not fed. They're not cared. It's
yeah,
hard.
that's one of the
They don't have
hardest.
clothes. They don't have anything at all. So you just gotta be grateful that you have the things that you have with you right now.
It's one of the hardest things is to try to see the world through someone else's eyes and just be like, damn, like I'm so used to just having the things that I have that I forget that some people will do anything to get this. And
Right.
especially when you're young too, like you are, it's like you're just used to the life you have and you don't really know what anyone else is going through unless you see it for yourself or you hear it or you wouldn't.
Yeah.
But you go through your own struggles. But while you're struggling, someone else is out there struggling even harder than you. You know,
Right.
somebody was in my
You know.
live yesterday, and they said they lost their husband and their mom in this year. And
Oh damn.
it's like Jesus, man. Like that's a kind of
Yeah. Yeah. That hurts.
that's an all
I could understand them.
that's a kind of hurt that hopefully you and I never have to witness or we never have to
Yeah.
experience. I mean, so I don't know.
Yeah. You got to be grateful that you have these people with you, man, because you never know. The next day you might not have them. And let's say I'm talking to my best friend, I lose him the next day. I wish I would have been there with him in his last moments.
Well, and a lot of times when we go through something, we brush it off and we say, well, maybe next year, maybe Christmas will be better next year. Maybe we'll do. There's no guarantee where it's going to be a next Christmas. There's no guarantee there's going to be a tomorrow. And we have to
Right.
try to find some sort of peace and solace in what we're doing and that's what I'm trying to figure out now because I know that there's so much to be grateful for. And even though my life isn't all together and it's not perfect, I know that I should be grateful that I'm sitting on a couch for a place that I pay for when there's people out here that don't have a home. And
Right.
it's hard though because you
This call will be recorded.
oop,
Yeah. How's your life? How have you?
eh,
Let's talk about you.
well, it's your interview, but I'll talk a little bit about me. But man, you've been on my live lately.
Yeah.
It's been a rough journey, man. I quit my meds and I'm dealing with it however I can. Some days are good, some days are bad, and I'm just wish I'm happy that the sleep is better. I'm happy that my eyes are doing a little better, but
Yeah.
it's the anxiety and depression that's been squeezing me to death. So
Yeah. That hurts.
yeah, for sure it does. But you gotta make the most of it. You gotta keep going, and there's no surrendering. Like you have to turn that feature off. Like there is no giving up. There's no quitting or killing myself. Like that's not an option. Even if it feels like that would be the better way to go because it would stop the noise, it would stop the pain. It can't be an option. Like there's no doing that because we do it because we want the noise to stop, but what the damage you can do to everyone else around you. Like I think if we did something awful, like we killed ourselves and we woke and we could look down from heaven and see what we did, and we see all the carnage and all the people that are upset, I think we would immediately regret it, because it's like, man, I didn't want to hurt my mom. I didn't want to hurt my brother. I didn't want to hurt my fans or my cat or whoever. I didn't want to hurt anybody, man. I just wanted the noise to stop. But the noise. See, when you stopped your pain, but you burdened everyone else with what you left them, and so it's why we have to find a way through everything. We have to problem solve, and we have to, it may not be perfect. Today may not be the day that we get better. Today may not be the day that our anxiety or our pain stops, but we have to just find ways to keep pushing towards that day. And it's that shitty P word, being patient.
Right. Yeah, man, you got to keep pushing through. You got to keep progressing. Can't let anything stop you. No one stop you. Yeah, even though there's people out there that want to hurt you and take you down, you can't let that happen, man. Got to just keep pushing.
Yeah. So what are some?
Got to have that dedication. You know what I mean?
For sure. What are the things that keeps you going?
The things that keep me going? That's a good question. I'd say my little brother. He's with me right now. My cat, my mom. Because my dad wasn't there for me. Mm-hmm. And there's other kids that have that as well. Their father wasn't there for them, So I really just learned to be grateful that I still have my mom here with me.
Yeah. Yeah. There's people out there that don't have either.
Yeah. And, she's done everything for us. She put roof over our head. She fed us. So as much as I can, I would try to help her. You got to also help other people.
Yeah. Well, but that's good that you see that, because there are a lot of kids who go through this world and they don't see the single parent, like your mom. They don't see her busting her ass to try to give you guys a good life, because it ain't easy just to make a good life for yourself, let alone for two little ones.
Right.
I can only imagine what that's like. My mom did it. I don't have any kids, so I've only had to try to keep me alive. But she's had to keep me and my sister both alive, and that's something I don't know if we could ever really repay back, man. I guess the only way we can do it is if when we have kids, be as dedicated as they were, because that's the thing. But it's good that you see that, because like I said, a lot of kids just take it for granted, and they just go to school every day with a new fresh pair of sneakers, and they go, yeah, man, look at my shoes, and they don't think about how much it took your mom or your dad or whoever to pay for those shoes. They bust their ass, they work hard just so you have heat and air conditioning and a nice fresh pair of sneakers, some food on the table. So the fact that you see that, and hopefully your brother, being younger, you keep him close and protect him and show him that's how he's got to look at it too, because like I said, nothing.
That's why I help mental health matters to me so much, because trauma doesn't always announce itself loudly. Depression doesn't always look the way people expect it to. A lot of people are walking around doing their best while quietly dealing with the aftermath of something that changed them. So when I came across your content, what stood out to me was just how honest you are about depression and how committed you are to advocating, not just for awareness, but for understanding. You don't speak from a place of pity or performance. You speak from lived experience and consistency. And that's that's powerful. It touched me.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I think that's what makes the channel that I have real, because I'm not talking to you from past experiences. I am, but I'm also talking to you about current experiences. I'm living what I'm talking about. I'm not one of these, like a president or whatever who talks about when they used to be a blue collar man and I know what it's like to be an American, when the reality is they've been rich for longer than they've actually been broke. I've struggled my whole life, and I struggle less, but I continue to struggle nonetheless. And so I just put my experience out there. And I think if you've been through something, you don't have to go through the same experiences. It's relatable as long as you've struggled in some way, shape, or form. Me going through a disease and you getting hit by a car, two different total things, but it's still a struggle. It's still similar in some ways. And thank God for you. You didn't go through it as hard as I did in life, but
Yeah.
it's still like, I think you have enough to kind of show you like, damn, man, like you don't understand. Like that car was going 5 more miles an hour. Or if you were at the wrong angle or whatever, like you and I wouldn't be having this conversation.
Right. Yeah, that's it's crazy because if that car was, going any faster, I wouldn't even be here with my little brother right now. If we looked and I didn't see a car coming, and then next second, I'm still walking. I'm already on the floor, man. Just grateful. That's all. I'm grateful to be here talking with you,
Yeah.
doing everyday life things, taking care of my little brother, feeding my cat.
Yeah, man, that
That's
shit's
the stuff that
precious.
really matters.
Yeah, it's the stuff that really matters. I mean, Christmas is in a few days when we're recording this, and
Yeah.
it's great to have gifts. It's great to have family time, and and to buy and receive gifts and all that's fun. But at the end of the day, like you got your mom, you got your brother, you got your cat, you got a home. Like that's really what matters, and that's and then for me lately, that's what I'm trying to shake off is that I know that stuff, and I still feel upset about things, and I gotta you gotta get better. You gotta tell yourself that the things you have are so important, and it may not your life may not look like the way you want it to look like yet, but it gets better. It just you have to keep on going. But if you give up, all that stuff ends. There is none of that, and
Yeah.
because nothing is permanent.
That made me that,
Yeah.
it changed me because a lot of people don't usually adapt to their newer version of themselves, but I understood, like I grew to, be thankful of things that I have that people don't have. And, it hit me because I realized how often people with real challenges end up doing a lot of emotional labor themselves while everyone watches from a distance. I didn't want to be another person who watched and moved on. So my reason, like, for being here isn't about comparing struggles or pretending I know what your experience is like. It's about respect, and it's about choosing to support someone who's doing meaningful work, even when it doesn't benefit them or the person watching directly.
Yeah. Yeah. You see it in my lives. People try to like, oh man, well at least I'm not going through what you're going through, and it's like, no man, like it's not about that because it just because you don't have my issues doesn't mean you don't have it hard. It doesn't like, and we all deal with things differently, man. Some people deal with their eye issues better than me, worse than me. Some people like they've been broke their whole life and they're just content with that. Like they don't give a shit, right? Like I try my best to stay financially afloat and I do okay, but it bothers me. But some people just deal with things differently. We all have our own crosses to bear. We all have things that really irritate us more than others, but there's no right or wrong way I think to deal with any of these, especially with health issues. Like
Yeah.
I don't know how you deal with it correctly because it's hard. It's hard when you're trying to live and your body is saying no.
Right.
But just because I've been through some things that you deem to be more severe doesn't mean that you haven't been through some shit. And especially as a young man, like getting hit by a car and being bullied and all that stuff. Like, some people that's the worst thing in the world, man. And I can't tell you that that's any less of a struggle than what I've been through because I don't know how it affected you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Anything that, there's anything in my experience that taught me, it's that gratitude, it isn't passive, it's active. And like, it shows how we treat people and who we support and whether we take the time to stand next to someone who's trying to make the world a little more understanding about mental health. And I kind of like that about you is that you really understand people who struggles with those things.
yeah. Well, I think for all of us, no matter how old you are or what you look like in this world, I think all we really want to know in this world is one, we're not alone, and someone out there gets it. Someone else there gets what we're going through. You may not 100% understand, or you may not whatever, but like if someone just says the things that you've been saying in your head, but you didn't tell them to say it. It makes you feel good and comforts you because it's like, damn, that person understands me in some way. They understand me, and that feels great. because when you feel ostracized from the world, you feel like no one gets you. You know, when you're getting picked on for being skinny, and you feel like everybody just like all of a sudden now you're just this, even though there's plenty of skinny people in the world, you start to feel like, oh man, everybody's against you. And it's like, I'm skinny, but like now I'm ugly and I'm all these things, and you beat it into your head, and you're like, when someone just tells you like, no man, I've been there. Like I've gone days without eating, and I lost weight and I struggled and had, you know, night terrors and all these things. And you're like, I lost weight because I didn't want to eat. I couldn't eat because my head was just full of crap. And every time I tried to eat something, my stomach would bother me. But you don't know that when you're going through it, because you just think, oh man, like what's wrong with me? Why won't I eat? Like, I know I'm sad about my grandma, but that shouldn't be a reason not to eat. And then everyone's pointing out the fact that you've gone downhill a little bit. And yeah, so knowing that someone out there gets your struggle is a very surreal thing.
Yeah. You know, that's what brings everybody together. Just being kind, being there for them, you know, understanding them, you know, stuff like that. Little things like that could change a person.
Yeah. Well, life is about how you get thrown a lot of things, good, bad, and it's about how you handle it. How do you react to it? See, like you chose to take medication so you didn't feel that way anymore because you were trying to better yourself. You could have chose to not and continue to eat less, and could have ended up in the hospital, or you could have died. But you chose, the other way. You chose to fix yourself, and that's what truly matters at the end of the day. It kept you. That's why I'm sure it's one of the reasons why you're still here with us.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So what are I don't know, what are some of the things that you're passionate about? What are you into? You're young, so you might not know where you want to be in 10, 15 years, but like what are the things that like inspire you or that keeps you going every day?
The things that inspire me and keep me going. I'd say, like, again, my family, they're my top priority. You know, I want to make it through life. Even if there's things that I do that aren't right, I still want to, provide, be there. I want to be a computer. I forgot what it's called, but it's something to do with computer studying.
Okay.
And, something I'm passionate about. I'm not sure.
Yeah, like me, I like advocating and talking, and I'm passionate about mental health and things, but but I'm also like a fan of a sports team, and I'm, what are you, is there things that you just, that gives you some, because again, better than anybody, life is dark and it can be really sad and miserable, but what are those things that that keeps you going, like music, video games, whatever the hell there's gotta be something that besides your family.
Talking to my friends, that it keeps me going.
That's good.
Those little talks, those moments, they keep me going. I love having conversations with people, even though if I don't know them. It's just the time that you take out of your day to just talk to someone.
Yeah. No, those conversations are important, man. It's nice to learn from people, and like I said, there's no guarantee that we'll all be here. So you have to, like, when you have a friend, you can call up and just say, "Hey, man, I'm dealing with some heavy shit. You want to talk?" Or hey, you want to go out and get some pizza and just laugh and distract ourselves from what's going on in the world? Because you need that. You need that camaraderie. You need people to keep you going. It's not a singular thing. When you go at life alone your whole life, it wears on you. That's what I've noticed for me. Like it's hard. I can tell you from personal experience, doing it alone is not fun. And now that I have a lot of friends and things, it makes it easier, because I can, when I'm having my really bad days, I could call them up and say, "Hey, damn dude, I feel like I just want to cry. Can you just like listen to me?" Or, "Hey, can you give me advice?" Or that stuff's important, dude.
Yeah, I have a message for the people on this podcast,
Okay.
you like, even though there's days where you feel like you don't belong, you matter. Even on days you don't feel strong, even when your mind tells you otherwise, the thoughts urging you to disappear are sentences. They're not like things you should actually do. You know, staying gives you a chance, like for relief you haven't met yet, people who haven't had the chance to help yet, and moments you haven't experienced yet. You know, you shouldn't kill yourself just because your mind tells you that you don't belong here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and you're,
If you have any problems, I'd advise you, talk to a trusted one, adult, anybody. It could be your cat, it could be your dog, it could be anybody, Just talk to someone, man. That really what matters.
yeah, for sure. No, it's very important to just know, because your head is like the greatest magician. It'll continue
Yeah.
to play tricks on you and make you feel. I think that's my biggest problem now. Is it's not the thoughts that bother me anymore. The thoughts trigger the feeling, but it's the thoughts I can cipher through. I can kind of just go, yeah, like, okay, like I can, oh yeah, that's nothing. Okay, yeah, you can tell me I suck, but I know I don't. But it's the feeling that won't go away. And that's the part
Right.
that's hard to shake. But yeah, man, you gotta find something that keeps you going in this world. It's
Yeah. You're not weak for having these thoughts. You're not alone. People experience these as well.
yeah,
But staying alive gives you the chance for those thoughts to lose their power, even though if you can't see it yet, if these thoughts are, they feel overwhelming on your chest or your heart, just talking, it really changes someone.
it does. Yeah, all these conversations. I mean, it's the lives, doing these podcasts, and all the conversations I have with all my friends. Yeah, it definitely helps me get through every day. And
Yeah. Even trying activities with your friends or anybody else. You could go golfing, you could go, take a day out to the spa with them. That like, it shows that you really care for them.
yeah, for sure. Like I'm texting my friend, just trying to go to the gym. I told you, somebody on my live just randomly just reached out and said, "Hey man, I'm gonna take you to this New Year's Eve party." I barely know him, but it's like I need to do it because I need to take chances in this world. I need to just
Right.
go because I need to just do it, man. I can't. You can't be afraid your whole life. You can't sit in the
Yeah.
shadows, and you can't just lay in your bed and you're on your couch and say, you know what, man, I wish I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Man, I wish I had this. I wish I had that. And then you get an opportunity to do it, and then you say no. You can't complain. You can't complain when you push everything away. And for me, I'm not trying to live in fear anymore. Fear is something that's crippled me forever, and I just want to live. Like for me, existing and surviving, I've done that for too long. I don't want to do that. I want to live. Living is what I want.
Right.
And I don't want or need, all these eccentric things to make me happy. I buy a lot of shoes and things, but they're cool, but they don't make me happy. I would give them up tomorrow for true love and a good social group and whatnot. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I just,
Life is bigger than you think. Life has a lot of mysterious, does a lot, but you just gotta be there.
yeah, man.
Can't let them hold you back, man. Can't.
Yeah, I want to find enjoyment just going to the gym or taking the bus or, I want to
Yeah.
find enjoyment just in the basic things. I want to just sit back and watch a show and get up and go out to eat with somebody. Like I don't need to be famous or rich or anything. Like if my following grows, it's awesome, but I don't need to be famous for me to be happy. I need to be happy with myself and with the life that I have. And I'm not far off, but this quitting the meds thing has really kind of thrown me for a loop. But it takes time. It takes time to get all that out of your system.
Yeah, it takes time to adjust to not taking meds. Yeah, it's like a newer version of yourself that you just can't handle.
Yeah, you said you were taking meds for a while. Do you still take them?
No, but there I still have them, but I just don't take it. I look at it and I just go, yeah, I can't take this. I can't go back to who I was.
How did you get like? How did you get off them so easily?
You know, one a person that also helped me get off of them was my mom. She told me that this medicine will help you, and I believed it. I really did. You know, it made me feel more active. In school and stuff like that, studying and everything. But I realized that it took a toll on my body, not just from eating, but once that once that happiness went away, that I was doing everything quick and I was awake all the time. I wasn't eating, so my body was just telling me to relax, so I stopped taking it.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it was telling me not to take a toll on me too much.
Well, that's the thing about the meds. They're so powerful. They 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 do more than what you ask them to do. They start to
Yeah,
work overtime and they start to do other things to the rest of your body. And you're like, look, I said to fix the depression. I didn't tell you to take away my sleep.
right,
I didn't tell you to mess with my my eating habits. I just don't want to feel like complete crap. I don't want to feel worried and sad all the time. So can you just do that? And yeah, they do that. They do that. They do a great job at it, but they affect the rest of you too. And that's the hardest part, because then you get to a point where you feel like you're like a tranquilized bear. Like you start to take these medications to feel nothing, but you don't want to feel
right,
nothing. You just don't want to feel what you were feeling. But you get so
right,
desperate when you're so low that you go, well, I don't care. I don't care if I don't feel anything, as long as I don't have to feel this. But then you go so long on those meds that you're like, well, I don't want to feel like this either. This isn't ideal. This is not what I signed up for. I took this just so I didn't feel chaotic. But I feeling like this is not the way either. So then you have to find this like medium.
and you have to find a new way to everything. It could be anything. I used to think my phone was my life, but I realized that social media nowadays it's been hell. There's not a lot of nice people out there, and yeah, I just stopped using my phone, and I've been outside. I've been interacting with nature. You know, walking places, exploring. It could be those little things that really help.
Yeah, and I don't even know if it's not that there's not a lot of nice people out there. It's just there's a lot of people that are hurting right now, and there's also a lot of idiots who have a lot of profiles. Like on social media, there's like one guy that'll have 100 profiles, so it seems like 100 people hate you, but it's really one guy. You know,
Right.
so it's hard to
Yeah.
tell what is what. And there's so much propaganda, there's so much smokescreen that's in the middle of us that keeps us divided and keeps us from loving each other, that we don't really know what's what. Like we think like if you vote one way, you think the other side is the enemy, but sometimes the enemy is both or is neither. Sometimes we make more, we make things more than they are. We create the enemies out of it, but they're not. Just because they look different or they sound different or they vote different or whatever, that doesn't mean they're the enemy. It just, the propaganda tells you that, but it doesn't mean it's true. And so sometimes we treat each other differently because we think, well, that's the enemy, man. They're wearing that shirt that says they're not like me. They don't support what I support. But we need
Right.
to really champion the fact that it's okay to be different. It's okay to think different. It's okay to be different. You just have to, um, just accept it. It's okay. I don't know why we need everyone to be like us. Like, I don't want anyone to be like me. I want to be
Right.
me. You be you.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah,
You don't have to. You don't have to fit in anyone else's mind or follow what everyone else expects. Your uniqueness, your thoughts, your feelings. It makes you who you are. You don't have to your mental health. It may challenge you, but it can't erase you. That's something worse that comes from being yourself.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think there's just so many people right now that are just they're having a tough time at life, man. Whether this week, this month, this year, this decade, they've just been having a tough time, and it's really hard to see the bright side while you're in the, it's hard to see that rainbow at the end of that, the storm, because you're so stuck in the middle of the storm. It's pouring on you, and you want to believe that tomorrow's a better day. And then when tomorrow isn't a better day, you go, shit, I can't do another one of these. I don't think it's ever going to end. But it does end. It does get better. But when it feels so real and it feels so dark and empty, you're like, I can't do another one of these days. But you do. Somehow you do. All those days that you were struggling with your weight issues and your mental health, and you might have, I'm sure there was days in there you said, I can't do this again. But how long ago was that? And look, you're still here.
Right. And it was recently, it was last year that I used to take those meds, and I stopped taking them. So,
okay.
I'm just proud of myself that I'm not taking them no more, and I'm just simply being myself.
Yeah, man. And look, there are people out there, I want to stress this, but there are people who need those meds, right? And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You don't have to do what we do. And look, I'm dealing with it right now. It's scary, but I know this is what I'm meant to do. This is part of the journey. This is what God tried to show me last year, and I ran from it. And I tried it, and I got scared, and I left. I went back to them. But I can't do it this year. I have to just take the pain on, and I have to just let it do what it's going to do, and find a way through that day, even though it seems like, oh man, it's only whatever time it is right now. It's only 1 something here, almost 2:00 here, right? Like it's fuck, like, but it's okay. I'll get through it.
Right. And I remember you said you've been doing this for like 5 years, right?
The podcast, yeah.
Yeah. That takes real dedication. You just gotta keep pushing through. Humans take things for granted, and like time, for example. Yeah, people take time for granted.
Yeah.
We get caught up in routine, screens, and worries, that forgetting that even every small, ordinary moments, like a conversation with a friend, is like precious. But once you lose those things, you realize that you really have to start appreciating things and little things that make life meaningful.
Well, and we're always trying to get to the next thing, but we forget about the journey. We keep saying like, man, I just can't wait for Christmas. But Christmas isn't like, Christmas is cool, right? You get the gifts and you open them and it's fantastic. But it's like the night before that's great. It's like when Thanksgiving ends and Black Friday starts and you're like, oh my God, we're a month away from Christmas. Here we go. And it's the build up, and it's just every day that when your presents are under the tree, you see them and you want to know what's in there. You're like, I think that's what I asked for. And right, it's the build up. It's the same thing with life. It sounds good. It's like, I would love for tomorrow to just be Christmas, but it's November 5th and it's not Christmas yet. So why don't you just wait? You'll be okay. You'll get there. It's not a big deal, right? It's like with anything else in life. Like I know you want the pain to stop. You want the good days to come, and I wish they were, if they're not happening for you right now in this moment, whoever out there is listening to this. But you need to try to appreciate the journey, even the bad, man, because the bad is really what you're going to learn from. Those battles you deal with, it's going to make you stronger. And you have to just go, like, now maybe next year, this time, you can self-reflect and look on what this podcast and this moment in your life, and you go, shit, like, you remember 2025 December? I was really not happy. I was really hurting in this world, and I didn't think I'd make it, and look where I'm at today. God dang, man. And that's the thing. It's the whole process, the whole journey. It's not just like, if you just get everything you want in life, there's a lot of people out here that have everything that we all want and everything they want, and they're not happy because they didn't really earn it. They just kind of got it because they were born into wealth or whatever. Life just was easy for them. They don't know what it's like to win because they've never lost. But you and I know what it's like to have lost shit. You know, and I know what it's like to go through a lot. And it doesn't, we have the memories and it sucks, but we know that, yeah, maybe today's not a great day, but today wasn't whatever your worst day was.
Right. And it's not like I have anything else to say, but I do want to say something else, that don't fuck yourself over just because you feel like you don't belong. Like, you matter, your life matters, and the people around you and the moments worth experience are still out there. You just gotta hold on and stay present and give yourself the chance to find your place.
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, you gotta get out of
Just
your
gotta
own
keep
way.
pushing through. Yeah.
Gotta get out of your own way, man. Well, yeah, tell your mom. She's done a really good job with you, man. You're pretty smart for an 18-year-old kid, because I was a dumb 18-year-old, I'll tell you that. So
I was too, I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, but you're trust me, there's a lot of I meet kids every day, and I know that most kids are not like you, man. Most kids are not kind and as thoughtful and open-minded as you are. And I'm not just saying that to kiss your ass. I'm telling you that because it's true. Your generation is pretty lost, man. And
It's true.
and
Nowadays, kids just want to smoke weed, gang bang.
well,
It's
and
crazy.
you're like, you've had this whole missing piece to you. You're missing your father, right? And I went through a lot of that in my life, and your whole life you're trying to be a better man than that guy, and you're trying to do good in this world and be a good man, and you're still dealing. I mean, and you're doing it, man. Like, you're doing it. Like, you're not anywhere near what you're gonna be. You're far from complete, and nor should you be, because you're only 18. But for all the things you've been dealt, yeah, and like, obviously a lot of it is your mom, of course, but at the same time, it's a lot of it is you too. Like, it's how you handle your circumstances. There's a lot of people in your situation that would handle your circumstances differently, man. There are people who have killed themselves over weight loss. There are people
Right.
who have killed themselves over their mental demons or over loss of a loved one. So it's, yeah, maybe you're still an 18-year-old boy, but yeah, that's because you are, dude. But you're still way further advanced than most people in your class, your generation, because they don't think like you. There are some, but there's and you're being an example for your younger brother, which is great, man, because
Yeah.
that's you're building, your help create a future for people, like for your brother, and then maybe your brother takes what you do and for his son or whoever the younger generation is after him. So it's
Yeah,
all,
I just don't want him to go through what I've been through. I want him to stay out of that.
yeah,
I want to make him learn. I want to teach him about the stuff that I wasn't able to do.
yeah. And you will, but he's also going to be, you got to remember, he's also going to go through his stuff, whatever that is. May not be get hit by a
Yeah.
car, it may not be whatever it is, but he's going to go through his own things, and there's not much you can do to keep him from that. Life is going to be life, man. Life is going to kick him around, but that's what you want in a way, because that's what makes you a man. That's what makes you a person. Like, he's going to go through it. But yeah, if you can make his life any easier than from yours, then you did your job, man. You did your job, buddy. So yeah, you kind of said, like, is there any other goals you have? Like, as we kind of wrap up here, like, do you have any other goals that you, at some point in life, you want to see through?
Goals? Yeah, honestly, I want to be an engineer.
Okay. So a computer
I
engineer.
want to build. I want to make stuff for people. I want to, build stuff that benefit people in many different ways. I just don't want to, see people lose their life or commit suicide over the littlest things. That hurts. I don't know if you've seen that video, but it's been going online. It's about 3 UPS drivers who faked being UPS drivers, and they took a mother and a father away from 2 kids.
Oh, geez.
And just seeing that, it hurts.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of evil in this world, dude. A lot of evil in this world. And that's why we matter, right? Because we choose to be good. It's not, forget the podcast, forget TikTok, forget all that shit, man. We just choose in our own lives to be good people. Even though we've seen some dark days, we've seen some really awful things, that we choose to still be good. Even on our darkest days, we would never try to kill anybody. We would never try to really hurt anybody. We may have said some hurtful things to somebody, right? We may have lied every now and then, cheated on a test or something, you know, we may have cut class or some shit, right? But like we never would hurt people like those three guys. That's not us. That's not in us. That's in them. That's not in us. And that's what separates
If I
us.
did hurt someone in my past, if I had the chance to take it back, I would. I really would. I would.
Yeah, but that's because you're kind and you want the best for the world. You know, you may not be able to focus on helping everybody every day because you got to help yourself. But like I said, it's the choices you make. Anytime you think you're a bad person or you think that you suck or whatever, just watch the news, man. Watch the news. And you'll see what evil really looks like. No matter what your head tells you, you want to see what evil looks like. You would never hurt an animal or a child or a person even. You know, like I said, we all have hurt people in our own ways, not intentionally, but we make mistakes. We're human, but we would never do the things like you were talking about with those three guys in that video. That's something you and I would never do because we're not about. For me, I never was about hurting other people. Like anytime I thought about hurting myself, it was never hurting others in the process. I never wanted anyone to hurt. I just wanted me to stop hurting. Even when I felt angry and bitter at the world, I never wanted to hurt anyone else. And if my thoughts ever did cross that line, that's where I knew, like, all right, it's going too far. Like, you don't really feel that way. This is just an illusion. So, yeah, don't give yourself credit, man, because you choose to be a good person, and being a good person is a choice too. Like it's in you, but you can choose to go the other way. It's easier to be a mean person. It's easier to not be good because you don't get much credit for being good. You know, you have to really, work at it. You have to stay consistent. Because life is going to test you. If you're a good person, life is going to try to make you feel as ugly and mean and awful as possible. And it's up to you to kind of stay, fast on who you are. And, you're 18. I'm telling you, I'm still getting challenged. I'm 37. I'm almost 20 years older than you, and I still get challenged every day with my shit, man. And it's a challenge, but it's worth being good because otherwise you and I would have never met. You would have come to my live and you'd have been like, who's this idiot just screaming at people or being mean to people? But you saw something in me and you said, oh, that guy. All right, cool. I like him. But it's because I choose to be good. Some days I don't want to be. Some days I don't feel like being nice to everybody because I'm in pain. But I choose to be because it's the right way to be.
Yeah, it's absolutely true.
Yeah, man. So before we wrap up, you have any message for anybody, for maybe somebody, maybe let's say if you had a message for somebody like your little brother, just to kind of how to get through life, like what would your message be?
My message would be that, life is going to challenge you, like you said, but, you just got to be there and you got to push through it. You don't let anything your mind tells you to, let's say, kill yourself, but you wouldn't want to do that because, it hurts to see someone go that she was taken care of all along. And especially for my little brother, I want to teach him that being nice, you could also be cold at sometimes, but you just want to be kind to people that don't have the things you have. You have to be appreciative. You have to have gratitude for those people.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. That's awesome. Well, my young friend, he just wants you to know you're loved, man. If you need me, you got a friend, all right?
Yeah.
Like I said, tell your mom she did a great job with you. And, yeah, man, we can talk off the air, but let's just wrap up. Thank you for coming on, man.
Thank you for having me on here. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, man. All right, guys, we will see y'all next week, and take care of yourselves, stay healthy, and see you guys.